and just really tired, man. And I wanted to be here for you guys. You know what I'm saying? So I'll make sure that. But to get to your question, Bob, man, I don't even know where to start. I've been doing this so long. I've been through all of it. Let's see, from Sean on over. I've competed.
You actually competed against the majority of the panel.
Exactly. Rich was gone, so I didn't get to mix it up with him, but or Mike. I first like to say that it's quite an honor to be up here with all you guys. I respect you guys so much, and you guys are all great champions, man. But yeah, it's been a long journey. If you don't know my history, I started off as a bantamweight, and I was pretty much the best bodybuilder in the country at each weight class that I moved up in, all the way to the Olympia. So I just like to say I'm very blessed from my parents and from God to be able to say that I've been probably the only person to ever do that. So it's a blessing, man, to be able to come here and set goals and achieve those goals. So that's the only thing that kept me going is setting goals, because you're always gonna have naysayers. You're always gonna have those guys, haters, what we call them today. Like Branch, Ronnie, we call them haters sometimes, but no, I'm just messing with you. But anyway, yeah, man, but and that's what keeps the fire going in me, when people doubt me, and that is, and the quality and just getting on stage and competing against the best guys in the world. So coming up through my career, it's been a long road, and getting here to this competition and actually winning 4 times and being able to say I own half of, the record with Flex Wheeler, is someone who I've looked up to for my whole career. It's truly a blessing, man. It's an honor. And like you said, he's the first guy to come to me when I won Olympia or whatever show that I won, man. He's always been there. He's always gave me hugs and showed me love. And first one in my corner with everything I decided to do. And he's the first one to tell me when I wanted to take my career to the next level, Flex was the one to tell me, you need to go to this trainer. I went to that trainer, and that's when I started becoming who you guys have seen me become over the years as a professional because of Flex. And I could go on and on and on with all of you guys. Mike Ashley, he told me some words of wisdom back in the day when I was a little dude. Vince Taylor too, and Sean, and it's just a blessing to be able to run into these guys. I live in a little small town, and I hope, what I say to guys that look up to me, you know what I'm saying, make them want to continue doing bodybuilding and achieve the goals that they're after as well, like you guys did to me. So I'd like to thank you guys for giving me such good words of wisdom, man. That's what kept me going a lot of times as well.
Dex, you talk about goals. You've won an Olympia that, admittedly, you said you've never seen yourself in that role, but you won it fair and square, and you were the best in the world. You've won now 4 Arnold Classic titles, numerous other titles throughout your career, now putting you in, I don't think anybody would argue, in that status of greatest bodybuilders of all time. What's the goal now? I mean, where does it go from here? Well, obviously, the big question when we see you on the Olympia stage, and what is the motivation at this point now? You've kind of done it all.
Well, first of all, thank you guys for even acknowledging me as one of the greatest of all time. That's an honor.
Does anybody disagree with that? I didn't think so.
That's amazing, man. So what's keeping me going now? I get asked that all the time. You won everything, you've done everything. what else is there to accomplish? And I tell them, I look them in the eyes and I say, you know, I've been doing this for X amount of years. I make good money. I make a lot of money. So if you can find me a job where I can work 1 hour a day, okay? If I can go there and work for an hour a day and go home and chill and watch Sports Center for the rest of the day, you let me know.
One of the greatest, ladies and gentlemen, Dexter Jackson. All right, the Dominican Dominator, Victor Martinez, has joined us on the stage. Victor, you've won this competition. You've had your fair share, I think anybody would say, of setbacks over the years, but you seem to overcome every single one of them, and to this day, you still have the best disposition of anybody I've ever met. I think if anybody was thrown at the deck of cards that Victor has been over the last few years with injuries and just tragedies and and overcoming obstacles, I have yet to meet him, and Victor will still greet you with a smile on his face, with that same Victor grin that you always get. And hey, I just do what I do, and I just keep going, one step forward. So Vic, congratulations, for everything you've overcome, Victor. We're all looking forward to you back. Are you going to be on this stage next year, Victor?
That's what I'm definitely looking for, to be back here in one piece, and be on this stage, and add multiple titles like all the guys up here, I mean, over the years, competing and again, like someone have said, they never plan on becoming a big-time bodybuilder or anything like that. Stepping on the Olympia stage with the best and competing with the best, and it's just never dawned on me. It had to come from my trainer. You'll see me in the gym, I would just work out for myself. Again, I started bodybuilding as a more therapeutic thing and stay out of trouble thing, which it worked sometimes. But just looking at the magazines, and the first time I heard the word striation was when I saw Rich Kasparian, and to get that, I was like, what the hell do I have to do? It was always a new challenge, and looking at magazines and seeing these new physiques, and then seeing Mike Ashley and his balance, his classic look, and Sean Ray, I thought he was, 6 foot tall and, massive guy, and the physique he built, and Vince Taylor. So each time I see these guys in the magazine, I always, had a confused, feeling like, what am I going to emulate? And I would constantly, it would change every month when a new magazine came out, And then Flex Wheeler came around, and how the hell am I going to look like this cartoon character?
Actually, Vince has the answer to that, actually. It's ketchup, hamburger, and Diet Coke.
Oh, that's another one. Yeah, that's another one, like Vince Taylor said, he was eating, ketchup and all of that. I had no clue whatsoever on nutrition then. And I would just go to the gym, I would eat a couple of slices of pizza, and work out for 3 hours, and then maybe have, a hamburger after the workout. And I knew it was wrong. I just didn't know. I wasn't that dedicated because I didn't know I was going to be. I wanted to be a champion bodybuilder. Then I would go in the gym and then run into Kai, because we pretty much started working out in New York City gym, and he'll be there with like a whole freaking tub of like 50 chicken breasts. And everything, and here I am eating a Blimpie sandwich, and I'm like, all right. I think I have to change something.
By the way, for any of you aspiring bodybuilders here, do not do anything that these guys do.
Yeah, but one thing, I was learning from each one of them. And again, Vince Taylor said, he would just change his training methods, and just trying to find my identity as a bodybuilder. Again, I would see Mike Francois. I thought I could be that mass monster. I would see Ronnie Coleman, and I thought I could be like that. And so it's finding that physique and building it to where you can be your champion in your own. The physique, and so that took a while again. But once I changed my nutrition, again, watching Kai and reading the magazines on and on, that kind of changed my whole competitive view in bodybuilding, because I saw how I can gain muscle, how I could be competitive, how I could be on that stage But again, if it wouldn't have been for my trainer, I still would have just been in the gym, just working out. Just again, reading the magazines, not knowing that it was possible. And you know, for his encouragement, again, and believing in myself, that was definitely something. And what the guys brought, you know, I mean, now you actually get to see it all online, you know, different publications and everything. You know, I couldn't afford the magazine before. You know, there was no computers. So now everybody has the advantages, you know, that I didn't have, and I thought it was great, you know, seeing them and being motivated, you know, time and time again.
Well, Vic, bring me to the present now. You got all your parts back together.
Yeah.
You look like you've got the size back on. So the $1,000,000 question, of course, is when will we see Victor Martinez back on an IFBB Pro stage?
Well, that was a question of, you know, 2013, and I said if I'm going to come back, might as well come back in my own backyard in New York City. So I will be doing the New York Pro. And again, there's always a lot of fans who I see in the gym. I work out in many gyms in the city. And a lot of fans want to see me compete, and it's always been the Olympia, the Arnold. And everybody gets to travel and get to see these shows. So I'm very blessed, you know, to be from New York City, live in New York City, and be competing in New York City. And I look forward to that. And hopefully give my fans something that they get to see in person and not have to travel.
All right, folks, you heard it here right now. New York Victor Martinez. All right, a two-time winner, and the winner was it? Well, last year, Branch won last year, correct? That's right. Kai Green, the Predator, is in the house. Kai, congratulations on all your successes in your bodybuilding career, of course, but talk to me specifically about your wins here at the Arnold Classic.
Hello. Wow, I don't even know what to say. My wins here at the Arnold Classic are not my own. They're the product of a lot of help and a lot of support. I'm just very, very privileged and honored today to sit here on this stage with the company that I'm with. It is overwhelming and unbelievable. I'm still struggling to process.
Kai, give me your interpretation of what makes the Arnold different than the Olympia. You've obviously been on both stages many times now, but they seem to both have their own flavor.
Man, Arnold has a prestige all its own. It's this is an amazing sporting event weekend. There's so many things that happen here, and it's all grown from, you know, the bodybuilding show that we know as the Arnold Classic. You know, there's so much that occurs here this weekend. Now it's grown to become this thing that can employ and, you know, so many people and bring so much revenue, hopefully, to Columbus. I guess there's a lot of friendship we're talking about. To win the Arnold Classic, to compete in the Arnold Classic. A lot of times I think in the beginning, years before I ever even imagined seeing myself here, the thought could be intimidating, you know, to think about getting the opportunity to go there, but then to also see your dream kind of unfold on that stage. You can imagine, hopefully, to be able to shake, you know, at the time Governor Schwarzenegger's hand, and you handed the trophy. You know, you watched every road to the Olympia with all the great champions, and you imagined, wow, what it would be like to stand on the stage at the Arnold when they were presented with their various awards. What would the watch feel like? What would the car feel like? How heavy was the remote control vehicle? Whoa, could you get a Hummer? What would that be like? Would Arnold Schwarzenegger's hand be cold and clammy, or would it be this strong, you know, assertive shake? So yeah, describe it. I guess I'm still in awe. I'm just in awe. It's an awesome experience.
I think everybody here is in awe, Kai. I love your insights because you know everybody knows you're a thinker, and you like to put a lot of thought process into all your experiences, which I love. I mean, because we have great competitors, but not only great competitors, but great characters, here in our industry. And that's what makes our industry what it is, it's nothing's cookie cutter here. Everybody's got their own blend, everybody's got their own brand. Vince has got his balls. So we've got it firmly in hand. So, Kai Green, ladies and gentlemen. And last, but certainly not least, the winner of the last 2 Arnold Classic Championships, Branch Warren. Branch, I'm just going to go back to last year. You came back from horrific injury. We've talked about many times now that anybody else probably would have been taken out of their career other than Victor, who seems to be able to overcome anything. So, but you won the show last year, and as a defending champ, I think most people expected you'd probably be back this year, but you opted out this year. Why?
Well, going back to last year, came back in 6 months from a possibly career-ending injury. I just put my faith in the Lord, put it in His hands. From that point, you can either make excuses all day, or you can go find a way to overcome it and do it. That's what I did. So
that show last year took a lot out of you, didn't it, coming back?
it did. It was by far the single hardest competitions I've ever prepared for in 22 years. It took everything I had and some. Without a little help from above, I don't think I could have done it. So it took a lot out of me. So preparing for the Olympia, I wasn't 100%. I needed a break. If I hadn't missed Olympia the previous year, I probably wouldn't have done it this last year. Because I was just exhausted mentally and emotionally from overcoming that injury and getting ready for the Arnold. So, but I went ahead, and once I was committed to something, I never backed down. So I fought it every day, and I got there, and I came in, less than my best, and I needed a rest. So after the Olympia, that's why I opted not do the Arnold this year. I needed a break, and I haven't had an off season in 7 years. So have a little downtime, and I'm enjoying it.
Well, certainly not making anything any easier, as you had a new addition to the family, your daughter Faith, born in that time frame now, and that was something you weren't used to. I mean, obviously you always used to just kind of doing your own thing and getting ready for the shows, putting the blinders on, but all of a sudden there's a mouth to feed and bottles to be filled. It's something a little different for you, Branch.
Yeah, my daughter was born 3 weeks before the Arnold Classic last year. So, and I didn't know if I was even going to make the show up until about 30 days before the Arnold last year. I was still fighting my leg, trying to get it back to where it needed to be. And then, my wife gives birth to my first daughter. And wow, man, talk about change. Everything changes, and for the better though. And so you're a week out, a month out from a competition, second biggest competition in the world. And for the first time in my life, I didn't think about me first. I thought about my little girl and my family first. And then on top of that, you're trying to overcome the most devastating injury a bodybuilder could probably have. And so it was a very mentally and emotionally very stressful, trying time. But you do what you got to do.
Well, Branch, you found yourself in unfamiliar ground last night, not on the stage, but watching the stage as a fan. Give me your thought process on watching the competition and Dexter winning his 4th title.
I didn't see the prejudging, but when I got to the night show, they came out, I thought Dexter had it. I didn't think anybody was really close to him. So congratulations, bro.
Branch, you took some time off, you've gotten that rest, you're back in full training, I know. Already, I expect obviously the Olympia is next for you, or plan on doing anything beforehand?
No, I'll definitely do the Mr. Olympia, and after Mr. Olympia, I'll probably go to Europe and do some shows over there. And I just want to say what an honor it is to be sitting up here with these men. Rich Gaspari, I'll tell you a little story. The very first bodybuilding magazine I picked up, it had Rich Gaspari in it. I think Rich was on the cover. And I was maybe 14 years old. I never seen a bodybuilder, didn't know what bodybuilding was. And Dexter said he lives in a small town. I live in a small town. We had 2 stoplights. So my class had 38 kids in it. The best 2 little girls were my cousins. We moved to the Dallas-Fort Worth area when I was in high school, and went to a big school, man. And so I didn't have any money, so I used to sneak in this neighborhood gym. This kid I met, he had the memberships. They opened the back door and I'd sneak in. And so I met this bodybuilder there, man. I never seen a bodybuilder before. This dude was like 270, 280 pounds. And he looked like the devil. He was so mean looking. And he kind of took me under his wing. I thought he was cool, man. He drove a Corvette. Had a different good-looking girl, a different one like every week. I seen him beat up the other biggest student in the gym, behind the gym one day, so I told my friend, I was like, dude, we gotta get big, we get chicks, we got badass girl.
Turned out to be one of your cousins.
So, I don't know, man, he saw something in me, and he kind of started helping me. And so when I was 16, he said, hey, you ever think about doing a show? And I was like, yeah, right. You know, here I'm just a little skinny high school kid. And he said, man, he goes, let me take you to a real gym and, you know, see if you want to do it. Well, this guy turned out to be, his name was Mark Hamlin. He turned out to be Ryan Copeland's workout partner. And, you know, Brian trained both of them, and I worked out with them. So at a very young age, man, I got to, I was very lucky and fortunate to meet the people I met. And Ronnie had a big influence on my career. And it's like he said, I wouldn't be where I'm at without Brian Dawson. So he, I can't say enough good things about him. He's had, not only has been a good influence on me as a trainer, as a bodybuilder, but as a man, as a Christian. He's been a tremendous influence on my life. And, you know, some of these guys, you know, they said they didn't know they want to be a bodybuilder. I knew when I was 18, I wanted to win the Arnold Classic. And I set that goal for myself when I was 18. It took a little while, but never give up.
Never give up. The theme of bringing forward. All right, folks, you've heard from all the champs, from Rich Gasparri to this year's champ, Dexter Jackson. I want to thank all the legends for coming out today. History in the making right here, the Arnold Classic Championships now in its 25th year right here in Columbus. I want a big hand for all of our champions.